Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, in this video, I'm going to show you some basic Excel skill part 2. This is a continuity from the last lecture. So, in this video, I'm going to show the function of Averageif, Averageifs, sumifs, and the pivot table, right? So now I have a sales transaction data. So in sales transaction data, we have a customer ID, dates, region, payment, transaction, source, amount, and product. So in this product, we have shawl, bawal, awning, and so on lah. Source of payment, we have online shop, social media. And for payment, we have online banking and credit card lah. And region, we have East and West, Central, right? So this is the question that we're going to ask. First question is we want to know the average amount. So but before we start with the average amount, the total data we have only how many data we have. Just select this one and look at the bottom part. We have 27 data. So now we want to know the average amount, so we just put a reference and call the function average, right? And we select the range of amount for the whole data set and close the bracket and click OK, enter. So they will give us the value of average amount, so which is 619.78 ringgit. Now number 2, I just want to know how number of shawl sold. So the product name, we have shawl, bawal, awning, and so on. I want to know how many shawl I have sold so far. So to know how many shawl that I've sold so far, so I just use count if, right? So I just select the range of the product, right, and then put comma and put my condition. I just want to know how shawl. So basically, I just repeating the same procedure that we already learned in the last lecture. So we are in this data set, we have 9 shawl has been sold. So now the next question is I want to know the number of shawl from online shop. So recall in this data set we have a payment from online shop and social media, right? So if you by looking at this equation, the number of shawl means that we're going to employ count function. Number of shawl means that we're going to use count if, because they only have one condition for number 2. If looking by question number 3, we have 3 condition now. So we have number of shawl, means that we have these 2 condition now from online shop, right? So instead of using count if, we're going to use count if s, right? So we're going to select the shawl, the product, right? And then we're going to put comma and put our first condition, which is shawl, right? And then we're going to count for online shop, which is source. We're going to select the range for source and put comma and put the condition for source, which is online shop. Small letter s, make sure we put it carefully, right? So in here we can found it found that only 8 unit of shawl from online shop, right? So this is by using a count if function. All right, so now let's look at the average, right? Last lecture we already learned how to find average for the whole data set. So now let's look at this question. What if we have a condition average of amount less than 20 ringgit? So amount we have 20.19, 23.5, 15.99, right? So we want to average up the amount of sales that we made for product less than 20 ringgit. So since we only have one condition, two condition, average of amount less than 20 ringgit, one condition, like basically one condition. So we're going to use average if. It's just the same concept for count is and count if else, right? So we just select the range for amount, right, and put comma, and then put our condition which is less than 20 ringgit, right, and close the bracket. So we will get 17.55 ringgit, right? So this is the average amount sales that of the product less than 20 ringgit. So now let's look at number 5. We want to find the average of amount shawl purchased from a social media, right? So now in this example, in this question, we have three conditions basically. So first condition is we have two condition. Three condition. Yes. First is the average amount of shawl is the second condition, and third is social media, right? Okay. So instead of using if we have more than two conditions, so we need to use if average if as. So to input more than one two conditions, so we use average if as. So this is the average amount, the range that we want to average, right? And we put comma, and then we're going to select condition for shawl. So we need to select the range for product, right? And put our condition which is shawl. And then the third condition is from a social media. So social media is from source. So we need to select the range for source and put comma and put our condition which is social media, right? And we will get the average of sales, amount of sales for shawl that purchased from a social media, which is 19.5 ringgit, right? Number 6 is a extension from number 5, which is we have a multiple, more than 3 condition. So if we have more than 3 or more than whatever amount of condition, we still using average if as, right? So on this question, we want to find the average of sales, amount of sales for owning purchase from online shop paid by using credit card. So this is basically same function lah. So first step, we need to select the number that we want to average, and then we select a range for product, so we can make a sorting for owning, right? And then the third condition is from online shop. So this is source. We need to select the range for source, and then put comma and put our condition online shop, give small letter s, and the last condition is paid by credit card. So we need to select for range for payment, paid by credit card, right, comma, and then put our last condition which is credit card. Oops, right. So we will get the average of sales for owning purchase from online shop paid by credit card, right? So So far, I hope you're okay. All right. So number 7, count the number of sales for each region. So for count means that we're going to use count. So since we have a condition here, which is each region, so we're going to use count if, right? So we're going to use count if to first we need to select the range for region, because we're going to count for region, and we put the condition which is, right? So this is how we find the number of sales from each region, right? And number 10, the total sales for amount of sales less than 20 ringgit. So now the total sales means we're going to use a sum function. So sum, since we only have we have a condition here. Condition here means that we want to total up the amount of sales that we made for less than 20 ringgit. Basically, this is the same concept for number 4, right, which is average of amount less than 20 ringgit. But instead of we use average, now we are using sum if, right? So we select the range for amount, right, and put a comma, and then the condition which is less than 20 ringgit, right? Oops. Okay, so this is the same concept lah. Okay, now we look at the second last question, which is total sales for bawal. So total sales is sum. For bawal means that we need to sort for bawal, right? So in this case, unlike the first question number 10, we are looking for the same column, right? If you are looking for the same column, then you're going to use sum if. If you are looking the total by sorting on the different column, right? So you need to use sum if s, right? So now we're going to sum the amount of sales, right? And then we're going to put the condition that we want to search in the product. This is the range, right? And the condition should be bawal, right? And that's all, right? Okay. So now, what if we try to combine all the condition, which is amount less than 20 for bawal, right? So still are using sum if s, because this bawal is is from a different column. So sum if s, first step is to highlight the amount column, right, comma, this is the main thing, and then the condition is for product, we're going to highlight product range, and condition is bawal, right? And then we want to sort the item for bawal price less than 20 ringgit. So again, we highlight the amount column and put the condition which is less than 20 ringgit, right? So we will get the result lah. So we can do the adjustment, because the result the Excel give us is not in ringgit. So total sales, we need to change it to ringgit currency. So we just highlight this one and click on right click and click on format cell and find currency. So I already define my currency as ringgit RM, so we will change it to RM lah. So I think that's all for basic statistical Excel skills. right?